All right, let's talk about manifestation. You've probably seen it all over social media, right? It's often wrapped up in this kind of mystery, maybe even a little bit of magic. But what's really going on behind the scenes? What's the psychology of it all? Let's dive in. So, here's the big question right up front. Is manifestation about some cosmic force that grants wishes, or is it actually a powerful psychological tool that can help us reshape our own mindset? We're going to unpack the science of belief to figure that out. So, first things first, let's get on the same page. We're going to look at what manifestation really is, but not from a mystical angle. We're coming at it through the lens of psychology to explore how our beliefs can actually shape our actions. See, at its core, manifestation isn't really about just asking the universe for something and then sitting back and waiting for it to show up. The research suggests that these techniques actually work because they directly influence our own minds. They boost our confidence, they sharpen our focus, and they seriously ramp up our motivation. It's all about internal change that leads to external results. But, and this is a really crucial point, it's a theme we're going to see over and over, every single one of these manifestation tools is a double-edged sword. On one hand, yeah, you get this incredible boost to your drive and your self-belief. But on the other hand, there's a potential blind spot. If you're not careful, it can make you completely overlook some very real, very practical limitations. So how does this all play out in the real world? Let's break down some of the most common manifestation techniques. Think of them as a toolkit for personal development, but we're going to keep a close eye on their potential pitfalls too. First up is visualization. This one's a classic, right? Imagine you're a student, picturing yourself walking across that graduation stage, diploma in hand. Man, that can be an incredible motivator to hit the books for a really tough exam. That's the boost. The blind spot? Well, if you spend all your time daydreaming about graduating, but you never actually sit down and create a study plan, that visualization can give you a really dangerous and totally false sense of being prepared.
Next, let's talk about clarifying your goal. It's just not enough to say you want success. What does that even look like? Saying, I want that senior manager promotion, well, that helps you focus your efforts at work. But again, it's all about balance. Setting a goal to get that promotion in 6 months when you know it's usually a 3-year track, that's not motivation. That's just setting yourself up for disappointment. The goal has to be specific, yeah, but it also has to be grounded in reality.
This brings us perfectly to the next technique. Act as if. This quote really gets to the heart of it. A writer who wants to be published doesn't just wish for it. They start creating the habits of a published author. They structure their day, they set word counts, they treat writing like a job long before it actually is one. This isn't about being delusional. It's about using your behavior to reinforce your goal and make it feel almost inevitable. Then there's gratitude. This technique is all about shifting your focus away from what you lack to what you already have, and celebrating those small steps you're taking along the way. You know, if your goal is to get fit, don't just fixate on the 20 pounds you still want to lose. Instead, give yourself credit for the workout you did today. Acknowledging that small win builds a positive mindset, and that creates the momentum you need to keep going.
Okay, now let's talk about the more spiritual side of things, trusting in cosmic forces. From a psychological perspective, believing the universe is on your side can be a super powerful way to reinforce faith in your own abilities. If you truly believe you're meant to own a home, it can motivate you to diligently save up for that down payment. The risk, of course, is overconfidence. Ignoring a terrible housing market or a shaky financial situation just because you feel like it's destined to work out.
So we've looked at the tools and we've looked at their traps. How do you actually use them effectively? In this last section, let's look at how to transform these ideas from just wishful thinking into powerful daily habits.
And this brings us to what is probably the most important takeaway of all. Real, lasting change doesn't come from a one-time vision board party. The true power of all of this is unlocked when these methods become consistent parts of your daily routine, constantly aligning your thoughts and your actions with your goals.
So how do you do it? Well, it's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, pick the tools we've talked about that actually resonate with you. Not everyone's going to love visualization, and that's totally fine. Second, you have to integrate them into your routine. Maybe it's a 5-minute gratitude journal in the morning or visualizing your success right before a big meeting. And finally, step 3 is the constant check-in. Are my actions today actually moving me closer to my goal?
So we've seen that manifestation, when you strip it all down, is really a powerful psychological toolkit. It's not about magic, it's about focus, it's about motivation, and it's about deliberately shaping your own beliefs and habits.
So that brings us to the final question, and this one is for you. Now that you know the tools and you know the traps, what goal are you going to choose to focus on?